Hello, this is Joel, your parish administrator, and thank you for joining us for our virtual Undercroft tour. Before I begin, I want to remind you to visit our website. That's stdavidsdc.org. And on our homepage, if you click on the About tab and then scroll down to the first one, Building and Projects, you'll be taken to our Building Project Improvement page, which has updates not only on the Undercroft, but all other building improvements and projects taking place at St. David's. But let's jump into our Undercroft Restoration. We're very excited to announce that it has been completed, and we're grateful for many donors who have stepped forward and provided us with over $125,000 to fix and repair our Undercroft. Before we get to the final product, though, I think it's important to take a look back at what led us to this point. So real quickly, we did have a major water event occur in July of 2019. Many of you remember the pictures of Canal Road and Constitution and Independence Avenue and Wisconsin Avenue flooded with water. The DC area had a once-in-a-100-year event with water coming or rain falling at 3 to 5 inches an hour. St. David's already has a lot of water issues, being at the bottom of two hills. We're placed right at the crux of both hills where Macomb Street Northwest and Klingel Street Northwest meet. Additionally, we have an underground stream that runs sort of parallel to the property, which causes water issues. So we already were in a place where water and damp moisture issues were a problem, and this large rain event, coupled with two of our sump pumps failing, unfortunately led to a flood. And as you can tell, the Undercroft was flooded. These pictures don't really do justice to show the full damage. It's after water had receded. Water came in through the bathrooms and basically flooded up to anywhere between 3 to 8 inches throughout the Undercroft. The hardest hit area was the nursery, where Kristen came in and found stuff floating in the nursery. So immediately our staff and clergy worked to remediate the situation. We tried to save as much as we could using heaters, dehumidifiers, water, wet vacs, as well as industrial blowers to dry out and avoid issues with mold and peeling and tearing and wet drywall. Unfortunately, as we continued to try to salvage whatever we could, we realized that a lot of stuff was too far gone. And it wasn't just from this event. You can see in the far left picture issues with black mold and mildew. This is not just from the July 2019 event. This dates back and should have been remediated, which is what we are now doing. Carpet began to tear up off the floor by itself, and we realized that we really did need to remove everything for both safety and the health and well-being of our church, parishioners, and staff. So the floorboards came off, we took drywall off, and we had two contractors come out with water removal and remediation experience tell us that, yeah, we need to take everything out, but we were doing the right steps to get started. And something that helped us save a lot of money and really was a great team building event, we had a number of parishioners come out the second week or the week following the rain event and helped us fill up a dumpster. We're so grateful for our vestry and parishioners who stepped up to do light demo work, removing all the carpet, floorboards, damaged drywall, as well as all the items damaged by the water, including the school supplies and carpets and toys and other items. It was a true blessing, and in the weeks following this event, a number of parishioners really stepped up to help myself in the office as we continued to sort through items and determine what could be saved and what couldn't. It's also, I think, important to note the Parish House, which is adjacent to the church, its basement also flooded, and that also contributed to filling up a lot of the dumpsters. And I say dumpsters, we actually had a couple more dumpsters come in to remove the damaged documents. I am happy to say that a number of the items in the Parish House basement were salvageable, as were items in the Undercroft, sort of the Undercroft proper, where we have our parish hall. It was more the areas in the nursery and Sunday school area and kitchen that experienced just so much damage there was nothing we could do. So we worked with Buildings and Grounds as well as a number of contractors. We had water management companies, landscapers, plumbers, electricians, even engineers, and folks who work at WSSC in Montgomery County through connections we had come out to look at our property. And our building and grounds team under the faithful direction of Hadley Cooper, came up with a plan. And I won't go into the details, but this was months in the making and was very well thought out and constructed to have a holistic approach to fixing our issues. We didn't want to just go in and fix the Undercroft and then have it flood again without doing our due diligence. We also unearthed a number of reports from dating back to the 80s as well as the early and mid 2000s showing actions that should have been taken, and we figured out, we took those into play when we determined what we needed to do. The first of sort of a three-step approach was to fix the sump pumps and drainage around the church. So these are our old pumps. We were able to replace those with these new Big Boss sump pumps. The name's kind of funny, but all joking aside, these are commercial-grade industrial, they call them sewage injection pumps. They can take up leaves, dirt, muck. They take almost 3 times the amount of water out per minute than our other pumps. So they are 6,000 gallons a minute. These pumps are workhorses. They last up to 10 years, where our previous pumps could last anywhere between 2 to 5 years, depending on the amount of use they got. So these pumps are the real deal. And they were also added to larger water basins. We added brand new catch basins and sump basins, increased the drainage around the area. So I'll show you here. Here we go. So we added new drains to help collect the water. You can see water already building up. That's all groundwater. It had not been raining. And here's a before and after that really shows it well. So by having our new sump pump pit, as well as a bigger drainage pit, we're able to take more water out. And because it has a higher capacity to take that water out, it does so less often, which preserves the pump and the motor. These have been game changers. Any of the major storms we've had, water goes in here, goes into the pit, and then up. Before, it would already pool around this area and wouldn't always flow into the pump. It's also important to note these have special covers that help keep debris out. So we're just trying to minimize debris, even though the pumps can handle it. But we're doing our due diligence to really take care of these pumps, and we will be having them serviced and regularly checked. The other thing that we had to do was improve the drainage around the church. So we actually extended an existing exterior drain that we have and added a new one. So there was already an exterior drain that went around the building. It was a 6-inch PVC pipe, which a number of the gutters and some of the pumps already drained into. But what happened was, around the back side of the building, water would pool all back here from the playground all the way around to our offices on Klingle Street. And so Triad Water Solutions, who also did our pumps, recommended a French drain. And so we installed a brand new French drain, or an exterior drain. They dug the pit in the area that was affected the most, added this very nice 12-inch corrugated pipe, filled it in with crushed rock as well as inlets for the water to drain from both of these hills, and in the end tied it into our existing 6-inch pipe to take it out to the sewer. As you can see, this is sort of a before and after. The pictures don't quite do their justice, but water would pool up on the backside of the church, and it would actually then seep into the ground and go into these areas where we have sump pumps. So by adding this French drain, the water goes away gently from the foundation and goes down the hill and down from the playground, and it goes into here where it's collected and then taken out to the city sewer line. It's been a major help in taking pressure of water from the back of the church off of the foundation. The underground stream, by the way, also runs right back under here. So this is just, again, helping to keep the water from infiltrating the church. The other part of our project was to fix drainage off of the roof. It's a very high angle of pitch here on the roof, and our previous gutters, they were falling apart. They were missing downspouts. So we had a roofing company come out. We received a number of estimates and ultimately determined that we needed basically new gutters on 2 parts of the building, not the entire building. So we have brand new gutters that are paralleling both Macomb and Klingle Street. These are real copper gutters. They aesthetically fit in much better with the church. They will patina over time. However, they're slightly larger at 6 inches, and they have brand new, these are called shanks. These shanks, they help hold the gutters up. They were all, they were all replaced as the other ones were falling apart. We also had more downspouts added. They're not pictured here, but More downspouts were added that tied directly into that system that drains off of our property. So the idea was to get it all to get off the property. There was one added here that goes directly in. We had another few downspouts added or repaired. There were many actually downspouts that were missing because they were stolen. The new downspouts are actually aluminum. They have a special method where they can actually solder the aluminum to the copper. And the aluminum downspouts are cheap to replace, and also it helps prevent theft. The gutters have already shown significant improvements with, again, keeping water from coming out. Before, with storms, water would come pouring off. Now it is diverted into the various directions and into the downspouts. And finally, we had to update our doors downstairs. Many of the metal exterior doors for the Undercroft were falling apart, not only for water issues. As you can tell, there's a major gap on this one. Water would easily flow in, so if one of the sump pumps gave out, water would just go right in under the doors. It was also a security issue. This particular door here did not open. The locking mechanism was jammed and it could not be opened, which is a fire safety hazard. And this door here did not have a proper push bar that worked and would not lock, so it was tied shut, which again is a safety hazard. So we took care of this during our Undercroft work, and I'm pleased to report that our brand new doors are very well protected. They have push bars for egress, they've got new locking mechanisms, they can swing open for wider access when we're bringing in large items or having parties and events, and they have proper weatherproofing on the bottom, including at the threshold. We've added new thresholds and weatherproofing that goes up the sides. These doors are top of the line and will keep us dry and safe and secure for quite some time. So finally, once these exterior projects were done, we were able to move into the Undercroft. And the Undercroft needed drywall repair and replacement. We decided to add new lighting to brighten it up, as well as giving it fresh paint and floorboards. So the first step was doing a lot of the electrical work. Originally, we wanted to raise the ceiling in the portion of the Undercroft that has drop-down ceiling. However, as you can tell, our HVAC work is like a web underneath the church. And in order to move all of this vent work and duct work and electrical, it would have been cost prohibitive. So we ultimately determined that we were going to get brand new lighting and new sound panels to brighten the space up so that we don't have to move all of our existing infrastructure for the church. One of those steps included removing the hanging down lights that were in the parish hall. We now have canned recessed lighting. We added a total of 12 can lights. They are dimmable, they are LED, and they are wonderful. It really brightens up the space. You can already see a difference. Even with this old carpet, which needed to be removed, it was already brighter with these new LED can lights. There's more of them. It also makes the space feel significantly bigger. You can't really get that feel till you visit the church. So when we open up, certainly we invite you to go take a look. But without the hanging lights coming down, it really opens up the space. In the bathrooms, we had all fresh paint added. Brand new drywall was added to areas that were damaged. Radiators were painted. Along the baseboards were all removed and patched up. Drywall patched up. Flooring obviously was removed. This corner here was a particular trouble area. It always had been peeling from water damage issues. This is one of the stairwells leading down from our offices, so they added waterproof concrete and various substances to help patch that up and make it less of an issue. There was actually a hole that had broken through here, and they were able to patch that up. And here's one of the final products. As you can tell, this is the paint. We used two of our parishioners who have interior design experience, as well as our vestry, to make the decision on the paint color. We decided to paint the wood, which was in some ways darkening up the space and didn't match other wood. The wood had various colors throughout the Undercroft. So we had this all painted to a lovely gray color, and then a white for the trim, and then a white color for the walls. These are the new LED lights and the new panels. The panels are flush, they are acoustically sound, they are paintable, they're cleanable, they don't have that cardboardy texture that gets dusty and falls apart. These were replaced all in the areas with drop-down ceiling. And of course you can see our beautiful new laminate floor, The flooring is waterproof, mold resistant, mildew resistant, and in the unlikely event that we do have another major water flood, they can come up and be dried out very easily and then put back in place. The other thing to note with this flooring is that we installed brand new vinyl PVC-based floorboards. These are great because they are virtually water resistant, and if we ever do have moisture issues, they can easily come off and be put back on. This was one of our studies found that we need to replace it and not have regular wood, because the wood will just rot and it's very hard to get the moisture out, whereas with these you can pop them off and get moisture out. Again, our hope is not to go down that route again. Here's another picture. Again, you can see these have nice caps on the end. They're sturdy. That's the other thing. They're really sturdy. So if they scuff, you can just get a magic eraser or clean them up. The flooring, again, is also commercial grade, sturdy. And again, you don't have to deal with issues of staining or spills if kids are down the area doing painting or drinking juice or having a snack. It's easy to clean up with just some mild detergent and water. These boards were also painted and replaced with the waterproof vinyl. Again, another look at our bathrooms. They were just freshened up with fresh paint as well as some drywall repairs. And then finally, the piece de resistance, the Undercroft, brand new flooring, brand new lights, brand new ceiling tiles in some of the areas, and brand new paint. Fresh white paint with a beautiful gray trim that just pops against this dark faux wooden flooring. And again, it's just gorgeous. It feels so much lighter, brighter, and clean. The other thing to point out is that the stairs outside of here were also stained and refinished. Those are the stairs that were leading from the bell tower down and did not match. They were also, again, another color. And so everything really has been tied in to match, to have a neat, clean, streamlined look here in our new Undercroft. And going back really quickly to our website, I took a panoramic view of the downstairs. We'll go to our building project page, and you can see just how lovely it really, here we go, looks. If you look right here, it feels so much fresher. It's so renewed, and not only aesthetically but structurally, it is so much more sound. We can do so much more down here now without worrying about damaging the floor, without worrying about scuffing up the floorboards. The doors are safe, they work, they have their fire exits, fresh paint, it smells fresh, it looks fresh, it's streamlined, and it all matches, and it's tied in all throughout the downstairs. This again has been a major work in progress. I'm grateful for our building and grounds team who did so much to make this possible, as well as our donors who really allowed this project to move forward quickly, but also effectively. There's been a lot of other projects, including redoing our doors, and I just remind you to check our website, the building improvement page. Go to our homepage, click on About, and then Building Projects to be directed there. Certainly, I know this is not as fun as having a large celebration in the Undercroft. We will get to that point eventually, but I just wanted to share with you a virtual tour. If you have any other questions about the materials we used or about the project, please do let me know. I'm always available via email. You can also always call my cell phone at 703-507-4542, and that info is all on our website. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is going to be so exciting when we do get back into our space. We have a very lovely new space that we should be proud to share with others, and I think this is going to really pay off in the long run. So for now, stay safe, stay well, enjoy the summer weather, and we will see each other again soon.